The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate.
And Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren, owner of Fountain Flora Flower Shop.
And I'm Kate DeCoste, owner of Kate DeCoste Photography. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Kate, we have another guest in the studio.
We sure do.
We have Christina Fazel.
Fazel.
I knew I was going to pick the wrong one.
Everybody does. It's okay.
Fazel. Christina Fazel. And you are the city clerk for the City of Wahoo.
Mm-hmm,
as your day job.
That is my day job, yes.
And we're so glad to have you here and excited for you to talk about something that some people in the community know about. And then there are some people that probably have no idea that this is something that has been worked on for a while. Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell us what that is?
I think you're referencing our work towards a Creative Arts District designation here in Wahoo.
Yes. Can you let us know, maybe exactly what is that?
Yeah. So the Creative Arts District designation is a funding opportunity that was started. The legislation was passed for that in the 2020 session of the Nebraska legislature, and that allowed the Nebraska Arts Foundation to oversee grant opportunities to kind of invigorate arts in the communities throughout Nebraska. That program's been running. The first designation was issued in June of 22, and that was awarded to Ashland. And since then, there have been 34 communities that have gotten that designation and access to those grant funds. Personally, I started as a city clerk in 22.
Okay.
And the first year that I went to clerk school was March of that same year. And one of the keynote speakers that they had was the economic director from Ashland. And he spoke about their processes through how they were getting that designation. It hadn't officially been granted to them yet, but they kind of already knew that they were getting it and just what that meant and how you could bring it to your communities. There was not a ton of movement with any other community right at first. And then the next year at clerk school, they brought it up again and they pointed out, just so you're aware, this is actually a reoccurring funding opportunity. It's not a one and done kind of situation. And that's where I really saw a lot of other communities start to get that interest as well. The application process is also very lengthy, so it could have just been that they were, taking their time to do it well.
Sure.
And then we started having those conversations with Teresa at the Chamber of Commerce and going over, what might that look like? What steps do we need to do to get that going? And that led to the creation of the Greater Wahoo Arts Council as well, or Wahoo Area Arts Council. So, because in essence, what the pieces that you need to be able to have that designation are an active arts council presence, support from the city or the municipality, and something like a chamber or a foundation or something like that to help support that as well. So we just needed that last piece. And once we got that up and running, we started really figuring out exactly how we can get this designation for Wahoo.
I love it. And you, being part of the Arts Council, know a lot more about all of this than I do. So what was for you being on the Arts Council, being the president, all of the things? I know you guys meet, or at least you were meeting every week. And was it more so that you could really get this paperwork that needs to be done, or what was your meeting about?
We're just starting on the paperwork.
Okay.
We're meeting pretty regularly every week just to get started as a council. We needed to do things like bylaws, elect officers, figure out what the terms of those officers. Basically, I feel like we were kind of handed a lump Play-Doh and like, okay, form this into a council. And what does a council do? And we're still kind of like, I feel like we've got some really good ideas and we've got some really good progress. But like, what does a council do every year? What kind of activities do you expect from your arts council? So that's kind of what we are continuing on. But while we're doing that, we've met with, the city and the chamber office, and we've had some meetings of like, okay, now that we have a council, I think we're ready to start this conversation. And how do we start this?
And some of the initial informational things that we put out there, I came and spoke to a couple of groups about the difference between an arts council and an arts district.
Oh, sure.
And why they kind of go hand in hand, and talked about those steps to how we needed to get that ball rolling. The establishment of the arts council, I think, came about as a want to really access this creative arts district and really emphasize something that we already know exists here in Wahoo, that we can take full advantage of.
So can you tell us then, okay, what is an arts council and then what is an arts district? Because now that you just said that, I think people are going to be like,
Wait,
yeah, what is it?
So the Arts Council is a group of individuals who are being a champion for the arts in your community. Whether that is traditional arts like photography, art, theater, music, or non-traditional arts as like baking or crafts or things along that line. An arts district is a designated area within the community where that emphasis is really being highlighted. A lot of communities select their downtown. I believe that we've spoken primarily in ours being in the downtown area.
Okay.
And it's kind of a place within the community to really hyper focus on arts and why they're important to us.
I like that. And I like that having like a district then for people who live in town or for people who are coming in to our community, we can like say like, here,
Yes.
go here. There's a
Defined
location.
location.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah. They talk about like having like the physical map and like doing like wayfinding signs so people can find it once they get to town and things like that.
The real emphasis from the legislature was that these arts districts are economic drivers. They increase tourism. They bring jobs in. Arts is really that like cornerstone piece that people maybe don't think about as often, but it's what makes a community feel more like community. You come for the collaboration of it all, and that's really what the intent behind these grant opportunities is an economic driver for your community.
Sure. Well, and I can say that, like, I've told you this a gazillion times. There was a town in Kansas that I went to literally just because it was like Wizard of Oz. They had Toto's. Like, that's why we went. Like, like literally. But then we went to they had a winery. They had they had a museum. We hit all of those places. There were other stores that we just went in because we were there and we were like, and we could bring our dog. No, they had little signs that were like, Toto is welcome. So like we would go in and, so yeah, like for people who are looking for something to do, it is like hey, this town has whatever it is, but like I said, for like the Wizard of Oz type theme, I think it does bring a lot of people in.
A lot of the other communities that already have this designation have really leaned into like making it a part of their identity. Ashland's Creative Art District is called the Flora District, and that's specifically after a founder from or an original settlement from Ashland. And there's other ones called like the Bricks District or the Rail District or Heartland District or things like that really try to bring that sense of identity in. And I'm of the opinion that art is a really great way to express identity. So they kind of go hand in hand as far as I'm concerned. But you hear these fun things like the Bricks District and you're like, well, what could it be? What are you emphasizing down there? And so it does draw people in to be able to, even if it's an hour extra out of their day, that's an hour more in your community, an hour more that, people are spending time and money and getting to know where you're from and what we're proud of. So.
And now a message from one of our chamber champions.
Okay, Kat, real question. When it comes to your financial goals, what matters more, the plan or the person helping you get there?
Ooh, it's got to be the person. I mean, the plan is great, but if you don't trust who you're working with,
Right? Like, I want someone who actually gets my life.
exactly, like bankers who aren't just bankers, they're your neighbors
The ones who understand what's going on in your world.
and care about where you're headed next.
That's what you get with Union Bank and Trust.
Because there, your money has people.
Member FDIC.
And there's communities of all sizes that have gotten this designation, like communities that maybe have like only 100 people have this designation.
There's one community that I can think of. I want to say that it's roughly 150 as their population.
Okay.
So there's no limit as far as like who can apply for these. Any community within the state of Nebraska is able to apply. On the reverse side, Omaha has like 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because Omaha has very like different cultural identities in different parts of their community. So Dundee has one, Ralston has one. I think the other thing that they really try to emphasize, like I just said, is cultural identity. What is it about you, about your community that makes you unique and makes you different than your neighbors? And that's one of the things that we've had a lot of discussions about when starting this this creative arts district is how do we define Wahoo? What is our identity? It's an interesting.
It is
a good
And I think
question.
it's funny because, you know, when you've lived here forever, you should know. But it's actually really, really hard. Where
Yes.
maybe another community, you might go, oh, yeah, that's like the perfect thing. And then I'm like, what should it be?
So yeah, as a part of this process, you're looking for input. You know, we're looking for input from the community, you know, as to what they want to see. When we sat in on these Zoom meetings with the Nebraska Arts Council, one of the big things they hit home was like community engagement. And so part of the process is hearing from all of our community.
Yeah, community engagement is huge.
Yeah. And because I know you guys had some meetings. And then I know when we were talking before, you have something online that people can fill out. And how long can they have? How long is that available to fill out?
I don't think we've put a definite end date on it yet. We're probably getting to a place where we're going to start refining the results that we've gotten and the input that we've gotten. And once we start kind of fine tuning all of that, that's probably going to be around the time that we stop taking that input. But I would assume that that's at least a few more weeks, maybe
Into the fall,
into
probably.
the fall. Yeah.
Okay. And where do they find the form?
Yeah, that survey is linked on the Wahoo Area Arts Council website, which is wahooarts.org.
Okay. Perfect. So that's easy to find. So yeah, if you live in Wahoo, go and fill out the form and
Yes.
give your input. You guys want it. Like,
Very much so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not just what do you want to see, which is a big part of it. One of the things that we are asked is like, what kind of projects do we have in mind? But the other thing that we're really looking for input in is what are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What are things we can take advantage of? Where do we kind of struggle? What is that sense of identity? So that questionnaire kind of covers all of the big pieces that we're looking for that community engagement. The thing that they emphasized when we had those discussions with the Nebraska Arts Council is the Arts Council here and the city here might be the ones like directing this, but it's a Wahoo thing. It's a Wahoo designation. It's for all of us.
Sure. You guys are the ones that are like getting it out there, getting it to like happen really, but you want it to be a community.
It's a community thing. Yes, we want everybody to feel like it's their arts district. It's not this small group of people. It's for all of us.
Sure. So definitely take part in that survey or go and I guess probably just tip part of that survey is probably the easiest.
Yeah, or
I
you
was
can
gonna say like
message the Facebook page.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if you've got like an idea, you can always email or message the Arts Council Facebook page, because really no idea is off limits. Some of the other towns that have done this, you know, what are some of the examples that you can think of off the top of your head of what they've spent their grant money on?
So there have been amphitheaters that have been built. One community that I heard of purchased the old opera Opera House and revitalized it so that it could be turned around to be reused as a movie theater. Smaller things like repairing crosswalks, intersections, and relaying them as like, I think they were rainbow ones, so that you could connect the one specific part of your downtown down to the parks area. Wayfinding signs like Catherine mentioned. The sky's the limit, really.
Right. Yeah.
The original, there's 2 levels of grant funding that we would be able to receive. The first one is $10,000. And a lot of that goes towards those like smaller projects, the education of maybe a website for the district or the wayfinding signs or things along that around that size of a project. The second one that we could potentially qualify for is $100,000.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of communities that have done sculpture installations or murals or things along that line, but there's no requirement that it be one thing or another. And I don't know, maybe it's a competitive side, but I'd like ours to be interesting and, and not exactly what every other community is doing.
Yes.
And so we need all of the input for it so that we can come up with exactly what the best idea is. Maybe not the best idea, maybe the most ambitious or the most, and it's a revolving grant. That's not the right term. It is a renewable grant. We can reapply multiple times.
Nice.
It will take preference over communities who haven't received it before, but if there's no new communities, then they'll evaluate the grant applications from the existing ones.
Oh, okay.
So $100,000 the first time around, and maybe it's another $100,000 in 2 years, So there's money there for us to go after.
Yeah. And I'm like, and then let's get it. And I feel like, you were talking about like the, being competitive. Like Wahoo people are very competitive. Like we just really are. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of people watching that are going to be like, yes, we are going to be the best. And, want people to come to our town and be like, yeah, this was like the best time and you need to come back and tell your friends. And are the kind of when you were talking, you were saying that the district, you're looking at it to be downtown, and then we are going to be having, because we just had the guests on for this one about the whole renovation of downtown. Is that all going to go kind of together, or how, or like timeline wise, I guess?
Yes, the timelines will coincide primarily. The downtown revitalization is a planning grant right now. So their main goal, how I understand it, is to like get those big picture ideas, just like we're doing for the Creative Arts District right now. What happens in those next steps, I'm not too terribly aware of how that progresses.
Sure.
But we have already had conversations where the data that we've collected has been beneficial for what they're looking for, and vice versa. So it's been very, what's the word, fortuitous? They happened at the same time because we were not planning that. They just so happened to coincide together.
Yeah.
And it will benefit downtown Wahoo greatly to have them both going on at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And timeline for this Creative Arts District, I know when we were in the meetings, you were kind of saying 9 months to a year, and it'll probably almost take that, I feel like.
With all of your paperwork, is that why you're saying it? Yeah.
Yeah, how ambitious the undertaking is to get this designation.
Sure.
So keep your eyes peeled for what's next.
Yeah. And when we have more updates with it, we'll have to have you back on and
of course.
let us know what's happening with it. So
Can do.
well, thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this was fun.
I know. It's an exciting project, and we'll be happy to see it come together after all this time.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for listening or watching, and don't forget
to keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
With Kate
and Kat.
See you next time.